Today's episode is sponsored by Dansoft Gamers. Dansoft Gamers is the leading distributor of video games and other consumer gadgets like the podcast microphone sets, ring lights, headphones, and affordable smartwatches, and many other cool gadgets. For these and more, visit their website at www.dansoftgamers.co. That is www.dansoftgamers.co.
Looking for a natural glowy complexion without compromising your delicate, beautiful skin? Well, Zuka Beauty Delivered has skincare experts to provide recommendations to clients' concerns. Mainly, free consultation, skin analysis, suggested recommendations, and we also sell a wide range of authentic international beauty brands at great prices. We can recommend, or if you already know what you're looking for, just let us know and we will have it delivered to you. We are open from Monday to Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. We also do special appointments for Sunday. Trust Zuka Beauty Delivered with your skin today. Trust Zuka Beauty Delivered with your skin today.
Mujevale, Mujevale, Mujevale. My name is Bane Kibuka, and welcome to another episode of the Ugandan Ball Talk Show. Yeah, I see you were in the car. You were on a trip or something?
Yeah, I was on a trip. So, hey, I remember that I had a meeting today. So when you sent me a message, said, let me go park somewhere,
Yeah.
and then have this done. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time off to do this.
Thank you. I appreciate that too, for sure.
Yeah, it's really important to just talk with people
Yeah.
and just get to know and get the information out here, because that's what I do with the podcast, is just bringing people on here to share some stories, and people get to hear these stories in their main time,
Yeah.
especially when they're driving. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't choose to drive and talk.
No. I needed to concentrate because,
Yeah,
some things are really very, very important for us to talk about. So the best thing is
exactly.
to concentrate and really have it talked about,
Yeah,
because there's no I'll be concentrating when I'm pee, and
yeah.
then
That's
no.
very funny, because in
Yeah.
the US it's not usually that they press their horn on when they're driving, but it's common in Uganda. So like that's
Yeah,
I
very, because there's so many mistakes here, my friend.
yeah. So James, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for bringing me here today.
Yeah, a mutual friend of ours, Charlotte,
Yeah.
contacted me, and she said, "Hey, you should interview James." So at first, I didn't
Mm.
know who she was talking about. I was like, "Hey, yeah, that would be great. Send me the contact." And
Yeah.
then she sends me the contact, and I added in my phone. I'm like, "I know this guy. Like we used to be friends on Facebook for a while, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
I think because I changed my Facebook, and then I think we lost contact here and there, but."
Yeah.
We were in contact for a little bit, a few years back. So how
Yeah,
have
I
you
was
been?
wondering where Bunny went. Great. Trying things. Now, I want to ask you a personal question, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Hmm.
You used to be my inspiration when I used to see you posting these aviation kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
if, and I'm wondering if you really fly planes now.
I flew planes actually for a while. Right when
Okay.
I was in school. But right now I chose to be a mechanic. So I actually fix airplanes, like we work on the
Oh,
private jets.
great. That's
So
great.
I don't fly
That's
because
very good.
flying was a little more expensive than with the money I had at the time. So I did,
Mm,
and then you get to the stage of your private license, and then it
yeah.
gets a bit more expensive to upgrade to do like bigger airplanes.
Oh, okay.
And there was an opportunity of me working as a mechanic, so I chose to just go as
Yeah.
a mechanic. So
I think that's great too.
yeah,
Very.
yeah,
You're working
yeah.
on people's safety, yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm glad you asked that question. A lot of people when I host people on my podcast, they just sit back and wait for me to bring the questions to them. I mean, it was your interview, but I like it when people
Yeah.
ask me questions, as at least like
Yeah.
sometimes when I get to share about something. But yeah, I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought that up, and I'm glad you mentioned like I was your inspiration. And now that I got your
Yeah.
number, maybe we will keep in touch again. Now,
Sure. No
see how
problem.
each other
Yeah.
do. So James,
Yeah.
I brought you on a podcast. I know we talked a little bit on WhatsApp about what you do, and I got
Yeah.
interested in the things you do. And when the person who recommended you to be on my podcast, when they said
Mm-hmm.
what you do. I was like, yeah, that would be cool to bring this guy on the podcast and to educate us or give us knowledge. And my podcast
Yeah.
is listened worldwide, especially people from Uganda,
Okay.
people from the United States, people all over the
Yeah.
world. And what you mentioned to me that people we send money back home, people at home send us money. Like there are things when
Yeah.
people in Uganda ask me, hey, buy
Yeah.
me an iPhone 14. It's like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
send them money or do this. So I know you were
Yeah.
in that area. So that's what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Just a brief introduction of what you do. I mean, I was just babbling about what we talked about on WhatsApp, but like, can you
Yeah.
just walk us through explaining what you do?
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you for welcoming me here once again. And my name is James Mukasa, and I'm a CEO and co-founder at MoneySent. So MoneySend is an application, a mobile application that lets users, our customers, to send and receive money from anywhere around the world, making payments. And then we also created something, like I told you last time, that we are not innovating,
Hmm.
but we are restructuring innovation because structures are already here. So all we need to do is to find something that works for everyone. We're working on financial inclusion and having everyone included in this transactional world.
Yeah.
But then I came up with this idea way back when I tried to send money to my friend in America, $30.
Hmm.
And I will not fear to mention this. I was using MoneyGram.
Hmm.
I signed up everything well. I uploaded my ID and stuff. At the end of the day, I couldn't send money.
Hmm.
But I using my Visa card that had more than $30.
Yeah.
Then I couldn't send money because I was a Ugandan. So then I said, that we need to find something that works for everyone. Because like me, there are so many other Ugandans, other people from different countries that are not allowed to use MoneyGram to send money.
Hmm.
We're
Yeah.
put on this receiving end, and we are supposed to be receiving.
Yeah.
We've grown up. We have studied. We have watched movies. We are trying to really really do things. These people, the white men have come up with all these things already. So what we
Hmm.
need to do is to find that glimpse of someone having to use it, like anyone having to use the system. So we innovated something within the system that's already been innovated. I hope that is understandable.
Yep.
Like, we called it online TV now, online circle group, where
Hmm.
you, Bonnie from the United States, and me in Uganda, and our friend in Brazil, and our sister in Costa Rica, and our brother in Dubai can come together,
Hmm.
and we save that money. And according to the queue, we are paid. You
Yeah.
understand? Like, chivina chinichafe
Yeah.
Uganda.
When
So,
we kutwasonanga sente za sako.
then people come, then you get to earn the queue. That is another way of people getting loans with no collateral, with no security, with no interest.
Yeah.
You understand?
Hmm.
And we thought of a way of how we could make it expanded, not only from the people that you know around you here, but anyone around the world. So if I have a brother like you, I can basically save money with you. At the end of
Hmm.
the month, we choose, maybe you're paid by the end of the month, and money is collected from your phone, from your app, every single day. So we
Hmm.
decide on when we want to get that money off the phones and when we want to get paid. So we innovated something like that to make sure people can get, because right now we're in a situation where everyone needs an encouragement.
Yeah.
We're in a situation where everyone needs now. So if we come together, I may be needing that $100
Hmm.
today, and it's my day to get paid. It'll be very good, but then I can pay it back slowly
Hmm.
every single day, paying maybe 10% or maybe 1% or 3%, whatever amount that we come up with.
Yeah.
So that is what we put in money sent. But the rest of the things, sending and receiving money, paying bills, making payments, and all that kind of stuff, those things have already been done
Yeah.
and they're here. But it is also incorporated. Our app is a one stop center for all those kind of things. You
Okay.
can send money, you can receive money, you can pay bills. And then the reason as to why I had to do this was to make sure a Ugandan in America gets the same benefits or enjoys the same benefits as a Ugandan in
In
Uganda.
Uganda. Hmm.
So if you're in America, you can pay my bill here,
Hmm.
any bill. You can pay my taxes from here. I can call and say, you know what, brother Barney, you know what? man, I am behind on my taxes. I need you to send me $100. Then you pay it for me. You don't need to send me. You don't need to send me money
Okay.
to pay the taxes. You can help me pay taxes from wherever you are.
Hmm.
You
Actually,
understand? All I need is
that's a good thing because recently there's a
mm,
kid I sponsor at a school,
okay.
and
That's
I
great.
pay his school fees. So I've been sending the money through some other media, whatever I won't
Yeah,
mention on the podcast because I don't want to embarrass anybody on the podcast. I just want to promote,
yeah,
and so I use the money, but that money gets to the people. But then the person who
yeah.
gets it is like, oh, I'm in a tough situation. Ndi mumbera mbi kana
Oshege.
etano kanso kenjozeko njazizao. And
Yeah,
at the end of the day, that person doesn't get the money. They're not able
yeah,
to get the money to pay back. So I
yeah.
came in on a situation where at the end of the term, I wanted to get this kid's report, but I couldn't get it because some money was missing. And I was like, if there was a way for me to just pay my
Mm-hmm.
money direct, like to pay this
Yeah,
kid's school fees direct from here to the
yeah,
school, like I mean through mobile money sent, but
yeah,
like you said, to pay the bill direct for
yeah,
this kid,
yeah,
that was another way. And I'm glad that you
yeah,
mentioned that because that's something I was thinking about, like to think
yeah.
about to do in the future.
Yeah, because what we are looking at is we are looking at making things simpler, not only for us as Ugandans, but for everyone who can use our system, who is able to use our system. We have three applications. We have a customer application, we have an agent application, and a merchant application.
Hmm.
So if you're a merchant, this is what we did. If you're a merchant, if you're born here and you have a shop, you are a car salesman, let me say, or a computer salesman, then you can accept money sent to be paid via money sent. We don't charge you to receive that money. We do not charge the person who is paying. So it is free without charging people because there is no way you can talk about cashless economy when you are charging someone. Of
Hmm.
course, if I have 1,000 shillings and I'm buying a soda over there, I want to pay 1,000. And if I'm the shopkeeper, I am definitely wanting to get 1,000.
Hmm.
So what we do is we help collect this money for you in the name of promoting cashless economy.
Yeah.
You understand? I was like, if Bunny is a computer salesman, he accepts to be paid by money sent.
Hmm.
We are helping Bunny keep his money digitally.
Yeah.
We are not charging him to do anything. But we are going to ask Bunny if you're making this is going to be a simple way of talking to you and coming to understanding. You
Hmm.
may or will you may not or accept it. We are like you can pay your workers using the application. You
Hmm.
can pay bills using the application. That is when we can now charge. We still don't charge you when you're paying your employees.
Yeah.
We only charge them when they go to withdraw this money from our agent application, from
Yeah.
our agent around the country. So we
Hmm.
only do that. And then when they are paying or doing anything, then we shall charge them. But we're making sure the salesperson who is having his stock in the shop is not losing a penny. Because
Hmm.
they don't make a lot of money of things they sell. You
Exactly.
understand? So what we're trying to do is to have this person love that cashless economy, that cashless way of doing things. Like you go to the shop, you just scan and pay, and then this person receives the amount of money. We don't charge you, we don't charge them. Then that is how we're going to be able
Hmm.
to reach that goal. And now we are in Africa. I think there are companies coming in here to fight as much as possible to make sure everyone is included.
Yeah.
But then there is no cashless economy or financial inclusion without us, without the fintechs.
Hmm.
Because you see, we have a government here, and of course, Bank of Uganda cannot go down deep the village to start telling people about cashless economy. All they're gonna do is to put it on TV. If you do watch or not,
Yeah.
you've missed.
It's all up to you.
You get. Yeah, it's up to you. But then we go to the village, we go down to the streets and make people understand that there
And
is another way you
educate
can make
them.
payments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we educate
That's
them.
that's the thing. That's the thing about the problem. Like you brought it up in Uganda about less educated. Like people will introduce things in the country, but then they'll not think
Mhm.
about educating the other people about how to use
Yeah,
them, and that's
yeah,
how they take advantage of other people. Like especially in money
yeah,
terms, like somebody will start up something to just take advantage of somebody. But it's good to
yeah.
mention that you go out there and educate these people
Hmm.
on how to
Yeah.
use the app. So in the question aligned to that I wanted to ask you,
Mm.
what made you, I mean, you mentioned a little bit on how the story behind you wanting, because
Yeah,
you had tell you wanted to send to somebody and they couldn't let you.
yeah.
But is there anything else that came up to you that you wanted to innovate? No, no, you said not innovate because you just rebuilding or
Mm.
adding on to somebody. Is there anything behind that that wanted you to go down this route or do money sent?
Yes,
Okay.
creating our own solutions to the
Mm,
problems that we have here.
yeah.
Because when you look back here, it is very hard to find a Ugandan company, a real Ugandan company.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very hard. So, but we as Africans or Ugandans, we have our own problems. We know how to sort them out. So we have to find solutions on how we can sort them out.
Mm-hmm.
As us, every time we have to call someone, we need a loan. Every time we have to call someone, we need this. When shall we ever build us?
Mm-hmm.
On the 9th of this month, we shall be turning 60 years.
Oh, nice. Uganda.
60 years,
Yeah.
Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we have grown enough to solve our own problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are old enough to start solving problems. We're no longer teen. We're no longer teens. We're no longer babies.
Yeah.
So
I think
another reason
the
is
problem is too, like I was going, sorry to cut you short, but the problem with
yeah,
that
no
too,
problem.
like there's some, they are trying, I don't know who to blame. I'm not gonna just point out
Hmm.
anybody, but
You should, by the way.
it feels like there's a certain group of people that tries to hold you in a bubble, like not letting you free to explore your resources or like what you can
Yeah.
do, you know. But kumiromo mukababo toina kumanya chigina
Yeah.
maso, toina kumanya sente
Mm.
zo zigenda wa, toina kumanya sente zo
Hmm.
zikolachi. So but what you
Yeah.
mentioned, like we're 60 years old, we need to be growing and coming
Yeah.
up with
We
all
need,
these things that
yeah.
you coming up with. Yeah.
Because honestly, technology is taking over, and we have. I'm a software engineer myself. So
Mm-hmm.
we are smart now.
Mm-hmm.
We can come up with solutions for our country. Because the other day I saw a dollar was trading about 3950. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means? It means we are selling nothing out there.
Yeah.
It means we are selling nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why our money is losing value. So if at least we were selling this technology, these people sold us their technology, we can sell back to them. We can sell it back to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because there's so many Americans that are supporting Ugandans here. So
Mm-hmm.
if there is another way they can send money, we make money out of that.
Yeah. And I'm one of those, and I hate using my money to promote other companies that are not Ugandan. You know, like if
Yeah.
they make money off you, you would rather spend your money on a Ugandan
Yeah.
company that you helping your country grow. You know.
Yeah. Because we need to help ourselves grow.
Mm-hmm.
Like let me give an example, a reason as to why so many dreams are dying here. It's not actually an example, it's a story, a little bit of that story. Let me tell you. You see, our government here, me, I don't fear talking about the government as long as what I'm saying is
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So they set up regulations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They set up regulations that are so hard for a Ugandan startup to make it through.
Mm-hmm.
They talk highly about cashless economy and financial inclusion. You hear them say, we want to include everyone. But there is no way you can
We
include
want our economy
everyone.
to be.
Like, you understand? But then you have to create regulations. Actually, one day, I think a month ago, 2 months ago, we had uh, an event here where I said that the government is only looking at Airtel and MTN and all these big companies. There are startups here that need that conducive environment. Like they should not set regulations that cover everyone. They should set up regulations that cover startups. Okay, startups should do like this, should do like this. This is how much money they should pay.
Mm-hmm.
But they gave us regulations that are so hard. Like because for MTN and Airtel and Wave and Cheaper Cash, those are small monies. But asking me to pay 66 million per 10 months
Mm-hmm.
as a startup, and then giving me a limit of 1 billion shillings a month in value, then how will I be able to make all that money at the end of the
Yeah.
day?
The other companies have been in business for as long
They have
as we
been in
can
business for.
remember.
Remember, I am a Ugandan who is
Mm-hmm.
starting up in this country.
Mm-hmm. They should be
But then I get to
helping you
they sh-
in a way, like lifting you up.
they should be saying, okay, who is MoneySent? Who is this guy? There's so many other companies here that are
Yeah.
starting up. You understand? So and they can transform our economy here. They can.
Mm-hmm.
They're all technological companies that are able to change. But then I think our government is blinded by the billions of money that MTN and other companies do pay. But then you have to
Mm-hmm.
support your own.
Yeah.
Because MTN does not belong here, Airtel does not belong here. All these other companies are not ours.
Yeah. Bagara
But then we
Wafurira,
have.
like they're looking at where they're benefiting from.
But are we looking at the future?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm a leader, I know I have to look at the future, not now.
Yeah.
So if I can look into the future, there is money sent. If there's MoneySent as a leader, what should I do for MoneySent to come up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, MoneySent, you know what? You can pay 10 million shillings a year. It's about
Mm-hmm.
$2,500 a year. That one is possible. We can do that. But not 60, not 30 million a year after
Mm-hmm.
10 months.
Yeah.
And then a value of 1 billion shillings. If Bonnie, you came in here and sent 1 billion
Mm-hmm.
once, I am not allowed to make any other transaction until the next month.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that could be really tough. And this is the situations where you think about like because like you were explaining that in my mind, I'm like, if the government, if wherever MTN and Airtel came from, the countries where they came,
Mm.
so that country might have promoted that, and now they're
Yeah.
also benefiting from MTN being in
Mm-hmm.
Uganda. So if Uganda as
Yes.
a government supported MoneySend, the MoneySend grew, it's going to be in the United States, and Uganda will make
Yeah.
money of MoneySend for
Yeah.
being in the United States.
Perfect.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
that's what you just said about the future. They don't look about
Yeah.
at the future. But yeah, I like that you explained this. One of the other question I was gonna ask you about. So like with MoneySend for the people in Uganda, do they have to
Mm.
have money in their account, or how do they get the money to the MoneySend app?
Okay. Now, with MoneySend, you don't need to have a bank account because the reason that's why we created MoneySend is one of the reasons that's why we created MoneySend is because many people think uh, to have a bank account you must have gone to school, you must know
Mm-hmm.
English, and so people still have that fear in going to banks and creating accounts.
Yeah.
With MoneySend, you don't need a bank account to have a MoneySend account. All you need to do is to download the application and then fill in your name, your email, password, where you come from, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's all. Then you get an account. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you get money onto your MoneySend account? One, you can visit our agents
Okay.
and then deposit money in cash. You
Mm-hmm.
can use we are interoperable to MTN, Airtel, and banks. So you can use your bank account, your Visa, Mastercard.
Mm-hmm.
You can also use your Airtel and MTN. We wanted to make sure that everyone is catered for. Like you're on MTN, you can still use MoneySend.
Yeah.
And even if you don't have a MoneySend account, you can still use MoneySend.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone can still send you money via MoneySend, even when you don't have MoneySend. So we are universal, and we are adding more. We're actually coming up with a platform where we get all these fintechs together. When you have a MoneySend account, you can send to Web, you can send to Cheaper Cash, you can send to any other person
Yeah.
in the world. We're also coming up with Mastercards. We are partnering with Mastercard. We have already partnered with them, so we're just finalizing with our integrations.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, where we're going to produce cards, MoneySend cards, Master and Visa cards,
Okay.
where you can spend money anywhere in the world. without needing to pull out your phone, without needing to pull out your phone and then log into your application and scan. No, just your card.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a good achievement, and that's a good
Thanks.
way forward, because when we were growing up we didn't have these things, but like you said, we're growing and we need to move, and
Yeah.
just changing. And the other thing you mentioned that I really enjoyed is like you're not fighting against other competitor, but you work
No.
with them to,
Yeah.
like, and that's something I really like,
We
and I
have
like.
one. We have one goal
Yeah.
to include everyone.
Hmm.
So Uganda needs more, more, more. You can actually bring Bonnie money transfer. You can as many as possible.
Yeah.
I'm
Um.
telling you because mm,
No, go ahead.
because we are growing and
Yeah.
this we still have a virgin market here.
Hmm.
Like we need more and more people to come here and train our people. We need to grow. So
Yeah. I
I'm not in a view of competing with anyone. I want us to come together and work together
I like
for the
that,
same common
because
goal. Yeah.
that in the other way, that's why when I said a podcast, I'm not the only person who has ever done a podcast. There's a lot of million people out
Yeah.
there doing podcasts.
Mm.
But I like to say, like, we rise by lifting each other up, and that's what I
Yeah.
use when I host you, because you, my listeners, are gonna be able to learn about MoneySent, and then
Yeah.
when you share with your customers or anybody who listens to the story, they're gonna know about my podcast. So we both work
Yeah.
together to rise each other,
Yeah.
and that's what you just mentioned. Like when you work with
Yeah.
these other companies, we rise together, lifting each other,
Yeah.
and you never know. With your mind now, it reminds me of a little story back in Uganda when omanyi ku maduuka, like customers say he wants sukari, neto alina sukari, but a friend ku dduuka
Yeah.
eriddako alina sukari, n'ogenda hey,
Yeah.
mpaayo kilo sukari wa customer wange ajagala, because they come to your shop because they want there, but you also help another person, and then the next day when the other shop has something that you don't have, then they'll come to you. So things like that, you all,
Yeah.
both of them are shops, but you both
Yeah.
trying to cheer up for each other. So I really like
Yeah.
that. And the another
Thanks.
analogy I picked out of that too. I'm a Christian. I know you're a very Christian guy, and you
Yeah.
like God and all that. And you said
Yeah.
we're all one. Like, when we are believers, like we all become
Yeah.
one, and there might be
Yeah.
like people who look at different doctrines and stuff like that, but in the sense, we're all looking at Jesus, and that's one thing.
Yeah.
My mind went to that and just think about, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But anyway, I usually on my podcast I like to start by asking people their background. But for yours is
Yeah.
special because we just dived right in what you do. But
Yeah.
I want my listeners to just know about you. Who is this guy? And so you told us your name, James Mukasa. But
Mm.
where is James Mukasa born? Where did you grow up at?
I grew up from Natete.
No, Tete.
You-
Yeah.
and I was born here in Kampala.
Okay.
So I grew up in Natete all my life. Then we moved to Chengera.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I went to St. Aloysius Nabingo,
Mm-hmm.
where I finished my school from. So
Okay.
I joined Saipali Institute of Technology and Management, where I was doing software engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and then I dropped out because you know why?
Yeah, why?
Because when I went there, I knew everything they were teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, seems like I'm gonna waste a lot of time here. So
Yeah.
I already knew what they were teaching, and then I asked the teacher, "When are we going?" My teacher was an Indian. I remember he was called I forgot his name. He was an Indian guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to tell him, I forgot his name. Like I used to tell him, when are we getting to this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
go slow, slow. Mukasa, go slow, slow. so I so I said, I'm not gonna go slow. Okay, I had a scholarship from that school, of course,
Mhm,
because I came and passed well. So I earned myself a scholarship and a
mhm.
job. So I was working there and studying there in the same
Yeah.
place. But then I dropped out because the things that they were already teaching me, I already knew.
Mhm.
So because
Yeah.
I started computing when I was about 18 years.
Mm.
Yeah. So by that time, I had already covered a lot of things.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then, when did you decide to start MoneySent, or when did the idea, or with your team and you come whatever whoever you work from, when
Yeah.
did you join MoneySent?
So we are. It was 2019 when I had the idea, and then
Okay.
I collected a few of my friends, and then we started working on it together. Yeah.
Okay.
But
That's
the idea was mine. I came up with that idea after
mhm.
trying to send money and
Yeah.
failed. And before that, I had encountered a lot with PayPal, with those
Hmm.
other Stripe. What man? They were so disturbing.
Yeah.
They are created for some certain kind of people. But then I said, let me create something that even them
Hmm.
will have to use.
That is really good.
Yeah,
So the other thing I wanted to say, like, what's the message you're sending to the listeners about MoneySent? Like, what do they need to know? I mean, you've talked a lot, but just like a
yeah,
summary of what you've shared about the you want the listeners to think about, especially the ones in
mm,
Uganda, the ones in the US,
yeah,
anywhere, whoever is listening.
yeah. Okay, the message I want to send out is money send is for everyone.
Hmm.
If you download the application and share with your friend, you are caring for them. Because first of all, it is very cheap. Our minimum is 30 shillings. And we have the best rates, but you can download the application and check them out yourself.
Hmm.
But money send is for everyone. We want to make sure everyone is included because the world is changing. Paper money is going away soon.
Hmm.
You remember we've had so many generations of different kinds of money. So we are trying to make sure everyone is included in this new revolution that is coming in because like everyone is really saying, I have money on my phone. Let me tell you something before I get off. When mobile money came to Uganda in 2009, 10, around
Hmm.
there were advertisements on radios and TVs. And then I had one of the advertisements when a woman was like, "Hey, I'm gonna translate it back in my language.
Yeah.
Hey, you sent me money. So how can I buy shoes on the man that is on phone? How can I?" So
Hmm.
he was like, "Oh, I was sindikide sente. Naye kati ngenda kugula nti engatto nga sente ziri kuno ku simu nzijjako number. How can I buy shoes?" Like so now we've come a long way.
Yeah.
So money is for everyone. You can download the application and utilize it. Yeah.
Nice. I like that, and I like the little story you shared at the end. That will connect to the people who will listen to it, those who can
Yeah.
relate to it. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, before I let you go from the podcast, I have some other questions that I like to ask people when I host them. One of them is, what has been a life lesson you've learned so far in life?
Oh, so many lessons. But one,
Hmm.
start.
That's powerful right
That,
there. Just like
yeah.
that is I don't know what other the listeners what they think when they hear that word, or like
Yeah.
what do you think when you hear that word when somebody says start?
Because you can never know unless you do.
Exactly.
You
And
can never learn unless you do.
that's the same
If you
way I
did not
say it too.
start up, if it,
Mhm.
if you did not start up this podcast right now, maybe we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
And the thousands of people will watch tomorrow or the other day. But because you started,
Hmm. That's
you did not care. You didn't care how many people had started. Millions of them
mhm.
said, "I'm gonna start too." So you
Exactly.
started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not
So
gonna
there's
I'm
so many
gonna
lessons.
I'm not gonna add on to that. I'm not gonna add on to that. That's right there. That's
Thanks.
perfect right there. So
Yeah.
the other thing, what gets you excited about life?
Um, being able to help someone else in need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really powerful to
Yeah.
it makes me happy to be in position to help somebody else. Even if I'm not in a
Yeah.
position to help, like as much as they can do, like anything you can
Yeah.
do to help somebody else. Um, the final question, Mr. James.
Mm.
I've really had a good I like when I host people that can just talk and just explain and
Thank you.
just it makes my job
Yeah.
easier from
Yeah.
brainstorming of what can I ask, what can I ask. But when somebody's just they know what they're talking about, it makes my job
Yeah.
easier that I don't have to ask you a ton of questions. I'll just let you
Yeah.
talk.
Thanks.
The final
Yeah.
question is, who would you like to see on my podcast next? And you're gonna have to connect me to that person, and we have them
Yeah.
as guests on the podcast.
Okay. His name is Innocent Kawoya.
Okay.
He's a guy of high people. CEO high people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
He's
think I
doing
know high people.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's doing great. He's
Mm.
really doing great. Yeah. Having him on your podcast would be a great it would be a great thing. And I will surely do that. I
All
have his
right.
number. I'll send you his number and I'll talk to him and then I'll share with him.
All right, brother. Let me first take a picture here real quick. I usually forget to do this, but I'll take a picture. Uh-huh. I
I've
like to
even
post.
smiled.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll post on my social media about having you on the
Yeah.
podcast and people to wait for this
Yeah.
episode when it comes out.
Okay. No
But
problem.
yeah, I appreciate you and thanks for being on the podcast. We'll stay connected and let you know
Sure.
what's going on. So,
All right.
yeah, let's keep
Thank you
in
so
touch, bro.
much.
Thank you, bro.
Sure. You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right. Hey there, this is Bonnie Kibuka, the host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching and listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with a friend and recommend somebody to this podcast. Don't forget to leave a feedback on this podcast because that's how we grow. And also don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. Join us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So we'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much and be blessed.